Hello, everybody. To those who are out there, listen up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. To those that are out there appropriating our culture, black culture, the American Negro culture, listen up. Listen up, listen clear. We are connected to our culture in this society in a broader perspective than how you're benefiting. Let me say that because people like Fat Joe that are now who's been appropriating the culture of the American Negro as a rapper, which we have support, is now using a very harsh and a very critical tone toward black society about Bill Cosby released from prison, his conviction overturned. And it's ridiculous. Tariq Nasheed, shout out, brother. Vicky Dilla, shout out. Because you guys talked about this. But I want to scream on this because, and I want to shout out to this because we dealing with a system, of course, of white supremacy, but a system that is anti-black in terms of benefiting from the black life and the black existence. We need you to know, and I need you to know, we're connected to this society in ways you have not even comprehended. We know this because of who we are. And those of us who are not aware and who have not chosen to be aware, we'll deal with that. It's enough of us. This is our business. We don't need silly icons or rappers who is not us trying to convey a message to us or to society that's dysfunctional when we're at a space of uprise and liberty in our business, sacred business, in sensual existence, where you come to this society and benefit from who we are, Fat Joe, by being a rapper. We made you. You think we stupid? That ain't what we doing. Somebody need to sit Fat Joe down with a plate, fix him a dinner, and sit him down and talk to him like the mothers you do us when they frying catfish and chicken or make a potato salad, and give him a tongue lashing. Give him, he need his coattail pull on how to respect and respond to black society in this war. Because see, we are in an uprise and we have come together to make a functional unit, not a dysfunctional, according to our voices even being a power sector as a unit. We understand the sophisticated form this in. We are very prestigious about this, sir. This ain't no game we playing here. You will become irrelevant very quickly. And this is appropriate that we use the self-preservation, but you in our business, however, as a guest, you coming in our business, what we're connected to, you don't see black people talking about Puerto Rican history and existence. You don't see us going around talking about nobody else's existence, but people doing it, however, to us because they're benefiting from us. And you're showing also that you are afraid that we have an astute place and a sophisticated and prestigious place among society as a connection. You see, we, the American Negro, created the culture of these United States and of the global exchange. We created the uprise culture. What you're appropriating, we built the country, the first world most powerful nation that everybody come to benefit off our historical suffering, our shaping, our blood debt, our blood stain. You see, this is politics, and politics is your life. We know that. See, this is politics, and politics is your life. And you have benefited at a political stance by our tax dollars, by our legitimized movements during Dr. King regime, the immigration movement. Dr. King is our uncle. Those were our mothers and fathers out there getting bit by dogs and fighting in the street, just so this country can have another liberty to offer to society. That's who we are. We mirror our sufferings, histories, and historical sufferings throughout this nation that you benefit from as you appropriate the culture of our entertainment coming from our struggle. As you make your voice in a high or low according to appropriate who we are. You don't get to come and tell us nothing. We uncheckable. Only position you got is to be an ally according to who we are. We are responsible for a lot of groups coming here and a lot of groups having safety in their families. According to where you come from, you don't have any safety. You didn't stand and legitimize movements in your society. You wasn't able to do it, and I don't know really why. We can get into the reason why. I'm sure there's reasons. However, that's not who we are. And we're not concerned with that. We're not making it our business. We're talking about us. We're talking about who we are. We are approaching our government and our media apparatus in a way in which a group should. In a woke way, in a way of function and organizing and keeping ourselves in a prestigious form. We are choosing the self-preservation element, the first rule of law. We are choosing to be who we are as a people, and we are choosing to be not inhumane, but we are choosing to remember ourselves in a way of importance in this fight of justice. We are the reason for the season. And we know this. Bill Cosby's conviction and his release is not about Bill Cosby. It's about in which Bill Cosby connected to as a lineage, which is the black man, the American Negro. What they have demonstrated through the courts, the theater, the courts ain't nothing but a theater, and they have demonstrated to us what they can do to a black icon, America's dad, and to a black person in terms of breaking the law, not abiding to the law, and applying the law unlawfully. Mr. Cosby it was never proven that Mr. Cosby did such things, which was very long ago. They have changed the form of law to actually prosecute our icon, Mr. Cosby, which is unlawful in our faces. That is a public lynching. Politically. And we got people like Fat Joe shouting and screaming rhetoric against us as a people in our stance of what he believes about Bill Cosby and those women. Fat Joe, you don't seem like to me you have enough of our idea to be even shouting in our community those rap songs, sir. Appropriating who we are. See, a lot of people don't know. You don't get to come in somebody else's culture and appropriate them, and we welcome you, and then when it's time for us to have a protection or a liberty in terms of who we are, you off code. You don't know. See, we know you're not really in tune with who we are. You're benefiting from who we are. You don't know what you're doing. And you are irrelevant, and you will become more irrelevant if you're in the wrong sector of exchanging. I'm telling you, because this ain't no game we playing. You will be removed slowly but surely. You don't get to come in our society and shout through us and tell us what to think and how to approach our government. Who in the hell and where do they let a rapper from somewhere else come in a society telling them how to approach their government? Is that a joke? We have people now that we have to uncover even who is directly connected to us that are off code. And we ain't gonna stop, and it's working. And that's what we intend to do. You don't get to come in somebody else's culture or home and start going into their sacred places of existence. What they actually built. We're responsible for the wealth of this nation. We're responsible for the safety and the liberties that you receive as a Puerto Rican. If you're not in Puerto Rico, yes, it's a part of America, but it has this, you have your own space. A lot of these guys, what you do, you don't do what we've done. We were willing to die in those streets to create a legitimized movement to get this country to offer another liberty to the world, not just this society. So people come here now, offer our fight. And when they get here, they oppose our understanding. They oppose our rhetoric. They oppose our sophisticated and relevant stance as a dialogue to appease those who they feel that are in power. You try to appease the dumb in this society. You ain't slick. And some of you ain't got to try because your mothers and fathers have endowed that into you. But they let you become a rapper because they know you was going to get paid. They know you was going to be all right. But you don't suffer in which way we have in terms of where that all come from. You benefit. So you don't get a right to come in here and tell us of anything intellectual. Because if it wasn't for us being intellectually standing as a functional unit, you first of all wouldn't be here at all to start with. And if we was to stand against you in the beginning, you first of all wouldn't have a career because you're appropriating our culture with your voice, with your highs and lows of who you mirroring who we are. Because you know it can become a success for you as an entertainer, as a rapper. Anybody in this society that lives here now is living off the blood, sweat, and tears of my ancestors, of my life, of Tariq Nasheed's life. I'm sorry, you're just not who we are. Hell, we don't get to be you. How everybody gonna get to be us, but we can't get to be them? What is this? We're not the battery for everybody's safety unless everybody gonna be the battery for our safety. Okay? That ain't what we doing. We ain't doing that. That's not what we doing. We exposing, unpacking. We leading the narrative. We are. We're very serious about this. And this is a very serious matter. We got people on our own team that we got to get right. Got people like Brandon Tatum going around thinking he's so high and above because he's practicing to be, they tried to get me to do that stuff. The white supremacist. As in terms of a Republican rhetoric, well, we have Republican views as black people. Black people, we're the more native way of this country. We're actually more Republican than a lot of white people in our views. But we're not a racist. We can be in terms of power. We're actually the belly and the bones of this country, the battery of it, the building of it, the lineage of it, the inventions of it. And y'all don't think we up on that, but we've zeroed into that now. We know. We talking. And we're politically exchanging also. We're raising a nation. And in terms of that, you don't have the right to oppose us in terms of our strategy. You're supposed to be with the family. How you going to have a voice that shows your ideology, your idea. That you can come in society that you don't make yourself comfortable where you shouting at most black people about our stance in terms of also appropriating who we are to benefit. Because you know that there's another source out there who's anti-black. that who will agree with what you're saying. So you got a cushion over there, but you appropriate us. Really? This is where it stops. Nicki Minaj, you too. Going around telling people what to do and about appropriating Trinidadian culture when you over here being safe off of who we are. You eat and breathe who we are. And can't nobody make a Trinidadian liquor? Nicki Minaj? Oh, I'm going to be real about this. I don't care how good you sound or what you done did. I may still enjoy some of your music. But you're going to get this work. You don't have a right to speak to us as though we're a dysfunction and you turn around and appropriate who we are for success and tell us how to approach about politics. You ain't no politician. None of y'all, especially you, Fat Joe, you ain't nobody. You talking about Bill Cosby did something like you, the way he said that, y'all, go look it up. Tariq did a show on him. Vicky did a show on Fat Joe the rapper. Go look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. He up there talking like he know Bill Cosby touched these women and all of this. It is no proof. And shouting against us as a group, as a community, as a society. Like we off code. We know who we are. We grew up on the Cosbys. You can't prove this, then we're not going to let you do that. Without going down without a fight, without shaping our own narrative. Because this is what you told us, America, is that you said, well, this is what I can do to a black man who you call beautiful icon, but I'll let these other guys stay out the shadows. Harvey Weinstein and all the rest of them, the other guy who had HIV giving it around, all this kind of stuff. I'm going to let the Catholic the church go by. They got their own government. I'm going to let the Boy Scouts go ahead. But Bill Cosby, he didn't rape no kids or nothing. You can't even prove nothing. But I'm going to put him in prison, handcuff him, and make a big scene out of it, and pull his royalties. Try to give his money away to some darn whores. I'm not going to say that, to some people to women who break the law and done admit the fact that they done had sex with over 1,000 men on a talk show. And then we got people appropriating our culture like Fat Joe in agreement with it. Among the lies. He said they were young women and they not. Fat Joe, that's what Fat Joe said. We got to worry about Fat Joe, a rapper who appropriated our culture and benefit from here. We got to worry about him telling us how to look at our life, our social construct in terms of our icons in a society that we built. And he running around safe. Talking loud, like a Karen or a Becky. Yeah, your voice is deep, but you sound like a Becky, sir. You ain't talking about nothing. We got this. This is warrior status. We warriors, this revolutionary. You need to get it together. You and the rest of your so-called fake constituents who just appropriate who we are. Do that. You don't got that real existence of our lionship and our struggle and what we had to suffer. And what we're connected to is outside of your league, as a matter of fact. You probably need to be in the classroom when it comes down to how we truly exist. How we truly exist? Fat Joe, you just a baby, a whining baby with a cell phone in your hand that a navigator system that a black woman created. Flying in a plane that the black man had an idea about. Eating chicken all over the country and barbecue that black folks created. Singing and using your voice as a high or low about our struggle. Using yourself to twist your body a certain way to appropriate our culture and black men's swag. To sit up in a mansion and scream at us about our victories concerning our icons as when we were kids. Unlawfully. You didn't even take the time to look at the matter and say, hey, wait a minute. Why is black people so angry and so happy about the release of Cosby? Well, Cosby it was never truly proven that Cosby did this. So why did they do that? They do it because he's a black man? Because all of this stuff that they did to Cosby was like, it's proof in the pudding. And this is 40 years ago. It's so much unique stuff about this. It's ridiculous he even got locked up. And these women who talk about him, they do drugs, they've been in prison, they've been sleeping around with people. One woman says she slept with over 1,000 men. And that Bill Cosby gonna rape her? Ugh. You think we want to let our uncle, our dad, America's dad, our king, our dad go down like that? No, son. Son. No, he a businessman too. He didn't want them mining on his property because of that oil. That's a white man business camaraderie, of course. He was white, he probably would have did it, but his son buried out there too. Trying to buy NBC as a black man. We know what's going on. And then they want to shape him as a criminal, as a world star criminal. In front of everybody. They changed the law. When it was a hung jury and they had him back in there. I mean, they changed the law to arrest our icon. To deface who we are in terms of a society of success. And we invented everything you eat, Fat Joe. You probably eat Aunt Jemima pancakes. I'm sure you done had some. We can talk about all groups when it come down to us. We exist like that. We really are a supreme people. And we know that too. Because nothing would be going on successfully. None of you guys, if it wasn't for a black man. None of y'all. The American Negro. We built everything. And we ain't no doggone immigrant. We imported here to this country. We were developed to shape and build a society and make it what it is. Adjacent to liberties for people. You talking to importance. You talking to importance and lionship and lioness when you're dealing with us as a black society and as a black family. Who's gone unprotected and also who served in a way which you benefit on top tier levels. You need to understand what you're talking to and what you're dealing with. Because y'all barking up the wrong tree. Because we understand this sophisticated exchange. All we know is you don't understand. Unity is power. We're creating the construct of code of conduct in terms of functional unit for a very real reason. We know what we're doing. This is a project. We're in a revolutionary. And we're pulling this apart. And it's going to work. You ain't got no choice. The society's in trouble with the American Negro. Yeah, the people of power. The blacks of power. We're the most power black society that exists. In terms of excellence, endeavors. You think we don't know what we're doing? We got the proof in the pudding. We got the invoice. We're dealing with a system of laws that have broken the law terms of us and have not applied it in terms of us in the right way. We're dealing with a legislative body who have a numerous amount of power liberties that you benefit from for your safety. You come here and you'll be shot down in your own countries and communities where you don't have safety. Your own government don't care about you, but you come here off the liberation of black people, of the United States Negro, of the American Negro. And the inventions that we invented to make a smooth and adjacent society to smoothness and wealth, where you can live comfortably. The steam engine. Our families picking cotton, 75% of the world's population, so that this country can have the wealth that it has and turn around and get perks from our government. We are responsible of people getting allowances all over the global diaspora because of who we and how we serve and our blood sacrifice. Yes. Right. You shocked that this is going to be the normal language for us in terms of the ideology, even. Normal ideology. Whether we rappers or not, whatever expertise we serve to, or whatever talent we have, we still need to know who we are. And Fat Joe, you need to sit down and say, I have several seats. You don't get to shout to us nothing. You like a baby. You sucking a bottle that we made. We warmed your milk. And we can take that bottle. You tell your people to support your career. Since you want to identify as something else inside this social construct and this ideology, what they doing, this war against black men. Since you want to have a talking point and a rhetoric that oppose our argument, who support your career, you let somebody else give you a bottle. You don't need nobody too fat anyway. That ain't got nothing to do with it. We already got enough. And we're going to deal with some of y'all too out there. Some of y'all icons, some of these people that make themselves icons by agreeing with the dominant society because they can pay you. This is spiritual. This is about dignity and principles of truth. That when the truth put its pants on, it's going to be the only thing that walk around. We dignified, so you're not going to last. A zebra don't change its stripes. So those who are opposing the good and faithful truth, and those who are opposing the balance of structure in a humane way, you are dancing with the devil in a pale moonlight. We are people of priesthood that are serious. Why you think we able to do what we can do? It's about knowing who we are and knowing how to approach the situation. In terms of that, we're doing that. We don't need people and don't want people. You're not welcome that will come in our midst to benefit from us, to oppose a serious exchange. You're offensive. You got Chinese people out there calling each other in California, calling each other nigga, like they us. Well, stop acting like us, please. Or trying to, those things that we are part of are things built from our culture that we don't even, a lot of time, not proud of. But you get to be safe behind it. It's a slogan to you. And a fad. Well, to us it is too. But to us it's more than that. That's our true existence. Our true existence. And I think some of y'all better learn to stand down when it comes to a blood sacrifice and debt, and it comes to safety in this legislative body of laws that you benefit from as a safety, that your parents brought you here when you was a little snuggling baby or a little child without even any ideology of what you want to do for yourself. You were safe off the body and the bearing and the blood of the black man, the American Negro. You learning how to be a basketball player, going to our HBCUs, becoming rappers, working in our industry, working in corporate, getting money from the government, loans, to open businesses. All that stuff is ours. And we know it. Now, we didn't say you couldn't partake, but you're going to do it in the right way. We lead the narrative. We are your mothers and fathers. If you don't see it now, you will. This ain't no game. We don't care. We'd rather die a man than live a coward anyway. This is a new generation you're dealing with. So I'm going to need y'all to get it together. This is an uprise here. We warning our people. We are the hands that fed you and that feed you. Don't bite the hand that feeds you. We're your protection. I'm your big brother. You ain't none of mine.